Hi, I'm Trinity, and today me and my friend Xinyin will be presenting about our research on the characteristics of an effective secondary school teacher. To start off, teachers are one of the few greatest influences a student would be able to experience in a lifetime. This is because a student's schooling years can take up to a quarter of their lifetime, so it is an environment that they need to be able to put up with for years, and it's crucial for it to be comfortable enough for them to feel safe, to share, and to learn. Therefore, teachers are needed to play many roles in order to provide psychological and emotional support to students as they transition from their comfort zones, which in this case is their home, to another environment for them to learn and to grow into a better person. We are now living in the 21st century and methods of teaching has changed. One requirement of teachers to teach in this technology rising age is to be able to teach effectively. Why effective teaching, you may ask? This is because effective teaching helps motivate students to enjoy studying. It would help reduce the chance of students experiencing boredom and therefore increasing the effectiveness of teaching and learning.
So right now I explain about the objective of our survey. So our survey mainly focused on the studies of characteristics of an effective secondary school teacher. So you guys might wondering where we got all those information from. Actually, our information was collected through an online survey form. The information has been grouped into two parts. First is the personal and professional characteristic of an effective secondary school teacher. Second is who was actually their favorite teacher in secondary school. So in the online form, the following questions were asked. First, what are the personal characteristics of an effective secondary school teacher? Second, what are the professional characteristics of an effective secondary school teacher? And third is, are there any relationships between the characteristics of a student's favorite teacher and an effective teacher? So come to background of students, our survey is mainly focused on tertiary school students. There are in total of 32 participants who participate in our online survey form. So most of them, not all I would say, they are all currently studying in college or university in Malaysia. Except for one student who is from Tokyo, Japan, she came abroad to Malaysia to study for Foundation in Arts in Taylor's College. This is the pie chart for age of students. The average age of students is between 16 to 22 years old, but 17 years old got the highest percentage, which is 40.6%, and 21 years old students got the lowest percentage. Next, come to gender of students. As you can see from the pie chart, the majority of students were female, with male students accounting for only 31% of the total. Come to next, which high school were they from? They either went to an international school or a government school. According to the pie chart, 34.4% of our participants studied at the same secondary school while the others varied. All participants studied in their respective secondary school for at least 3 years.
Prior to our survey, we did some readings beforehand as we focused about the importance of effective teaching and some traits that are expected of an effective teacher. Firstly, effective teachers are responsible for one's effective learning in the 21st century teaching standards. As said previously, we are now living in a technology rising age. Therefore, methods of teaching has changed in order to cope with this change. The effective learning of a student is also dependent on the way a teacher teaches, whether information has gotten across clearly or not. Effective teachers are also important to maximize one's learning. Book knowledge will never be enough. Therefore, teachers will always be there to help a student learn more and understand more about each topic. Some expected traits of effective teachers are confident in communicating with students. This trait is needed in order for ideas to be communicated clearly to students so that the students can reach their learning objective. Because if a student doesn't understand what they are learning, how would they be able to reach their learning objective? Another trait of an effective teacher is charisma. Charisma can provide positive influences among students' mindsets about learning. It encourages them to be more passionate about learning. To recap a bit, the topic for our research is the characteristics of an effective secondary school teacher. Our online survey was categorized into 3 different sections to find out about the personal and professional characteristics of an effective teacher, and to see whether there was a correlation between the characteristics of a student's favorite teacher and an effective teacher. For the first section on personal characteristics, we have grouped the responses into three smaller groups, which are building strong interpersonal relationships with students, extroversion when communicating with students, and having a healthy classroom organizing style and being caring. The first grouping, building strong interpersonal relationships with students. By connecting with students, it can create a sense of belonging so that students don't feel out of place in school. It allows students to feel comfortable because they would have someone they can trust and rely on. By creating this comfortable atmosphere, students would be more motivated to attend classes and to enjoy learning. The second grouping, extroversion when communicating with students. A teacher's attitude would help set the mood of the classroom environment as students tend to follow someone older than them because they think that it is appropriate for them to do so. Extroverted attitudes would also give oomph to students to feel excited about learning. A third grouping is having healthy classroom organizing styles and being caring. To create an uplifting environment in classes, a consensus must be reached so that all actions contribute to building this space. Therefore, teachers should suitably assert their authority when it comes to organizing classrooms.
So as we have mentioned previously, our study is mainly focused on personal and professional characteristics of an effective secondary teacher. So for professional characteristics, we have grouped into two parts, which is being knowledgeable, experienced and flexible, and skilled in communication. For the first grouping, being knowledgeable, experienced and flexible. To pass on knowledge to a student, a teacher must be able to understand what they are teaching so that they may guide a student while learning, and also be able to answer deeper questions a student may be curious about. Good knowledge is definitely not enough to teach a teacher to teach effectively. What I can say is, teaching is definitely need experience. For the second grouping is skill in communication. Teaching involves effectively communicating and presenting knowledge to students. How can a student effectively learn when they cannot even understand what their teacher is talking about? Learning objective can only be reached if a student understands the lesson.
Coming to the last section of our research, we come to discuss about the characteristics of a student's favorite teacher. We have understood that most participants' favorite teachers had really friendly and understanding personalities, were hardworking and knowledgeable about their subject. But most importantly, their favorite teachers were able to provide good support to students. Therefore, we can conclude that students like teachers that they can connect with, yet are professionals at their own field of expertise. To sum up our research, there is no fixed characteristics of an effective secondary school teacher. To be an effective teacher means to constantly improve themselves and be flexible in adjusting their teaching methods to fit the different learning styles of each student. However, it is also important that teachers possess both personal and professional qualities as an effective teacher to be able to teach and provide good support to students.
So this is all from us. Thank you. Bye.